it took me some time just to become self-aware and then politically aware, etc. It has seemed to me that there has been somewhat of a regression in some ways, but you have a lot more life experience than I do and have witnessed a lot more changes than I have. So having been born and grown through the Great Depression all the way up through this new century, what's your outlook? Do you think that we have regressed, or do you think that things have been relatively the same in your lifetime?
No, I would say that the universities in America are better equipped than ever. They have electron microscopes, they have the best science and technology, but the wars are getting worse. The bomb is becoming more detrimental. The cobalt bomb sometimes could be thousands of times more deadly than the atom bomb. And airplanes can carry more bombs. It isn't that we're progressing. We're moving in the wrong direction. We're using science and technology to maintain our positions of control, which is the wrong direction of science and technology. It should be used to help people all over the world. They all need the same thing. There's no good, bad, right, or wrong. They're just different times and culture. It was normal for Romans to feed Christians to lions at that phase of their evolution. It's normal for Americans to go and watch prize fights. In the future, punching a man in the head damages the brain. But people are brought up to that. They think, gee, that's a great activity. Don't you see? We're all manipulated all over the world. In Spanish worlds, they have bulls running through the streets. And it's macho to stand out in front of a bull and then try to dodge him. Well, a lot of things that you consider normal today would be considered unsane in the future. Not insane, unsane, meaning the way you're brought up, not brain degeneration.
And would there be room for certain activities that certain people consider fun in today's world, such as, let's say, video games? One might consider them mindless. Would there be room for that in your society?
Well, that video games can be designed to make you smarter. In other words, it depends on the designers of the video games. When you design video games and people walk away from it smarter than when they started playing, I would say that's useful. In other words, if you just have a setup like Disney World. Disney World is entertainment. In the future, all exhibits would make people smarter when they came out. They would know more than when they went in. You know, today we have clubs like Mickey Mouse Club. That's kind of an insult to human intelligence to have your children belong to a Mickey Mouse Club. Don't you see that? Children like to know things. They ask all kinds of good questions, and you're told not to lie to children. You're told to teach them the truth. Well, when children say, Daddy, where do babies come from? We say the stork brings them. Lie number one. How does Santa Claus get down the chimney to bring you all those toys? Lie number two. We lie to our children continuously, and you hope they're going to turn out to be okay.
There's an expression that's used by a lot of people that I know that comes from scuba diving. And when I go scuba diving, we have to decompress at different points. And in life, I think there's a need to sometimes decompress or just have a respite from your general obligations in life. Would there be room for guilty pleasures or things that help you disengage from your aspirations in life in the society that you're envisioning?
Well, I think this culture is so stressful, and the aims that people are trying to achieve and the money they're trying to achieve just to get the houses and the cars they want or what they think is important is really, really difficult on them. In the future, when people work on things that help everyone in society, and when they achieve certain things, it goes into society and it helps themselves and everyone else, and everybody grows, and they work on things that they enjoy that are good for everyone, I don't think there'd be a need to go and take drugs for a respite of the environment around them. Today's society is extremely painful. People don't know how to express themselves. They have to drink to say the things that they want. I don't think you'd need that in the future. You'd be educated in a very different way. And the things you're working on are the things that you enjoy working on. You're not made to work on them. You're not made to have a menial job that gives you minimum wage so you can, bring your child to the doctor. A lot of times you can't even do that. You have to go to a free clinic. So everybody's in tremendous stress today.
Instead of a Pentagon in Washington, the Pentagon offers defense systems. In the future, we'll have a Pentagon that's designed to bridge the difference between nations, not kill one another. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Is everyone else following as well? Any other questions that may have been left out at this point?
I have a slight personal question if Mr. Fresco would answer. I'm curious as to what you think your longevity is attributed to. What is your lifestyle like now that keeps both your mind and your body active?
Just getting out of yourself and working on other people's problems, trying to make life better for most people. For example, if you study psychology, in this system, they try to get you to adjust to this system, which has got to be stupid. The psychology of the future will deal with the behavioral sciences, how to improve human relations, how to get rid of human arguments, how to diminish conflict between people. And that's very easy to do, by the way. It's not a difficult problem. What I work on is problems all the time. Solve problems, avoid automobile accidents, make machines safer for people, teaching children subject matter that will enhance their lives and enable them to get along with different kinds of people of different value systems. In other words, getting out of yourself and the self-centered values of property, money, power, which is self-centered, which destroys human beings and human values. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
That's a very excellent answer. Is there anything specific that you do dietarily that's different? Are you vegan, or is there anything different about yourself that way as well?
Well, I would imagine that if you just eat more vegetables and less meat, it takes a lot of food to build a cow that weighs 1,000 pounds. And you can feed more people by harnessing vegetables rather than eating meat. You can also learn to live better with less drugs and less medicines. Most drugs are not really problem solvers. They may temporarily diminish your pain, but they have side effects. So we will study cancer, heart disease, all the things that plague all people, and try to solve those problems with good nutrition, better outlook. In other words, if you look at the world with very negative outlook, you can, even though you eat the best food in the world, you will not do well if you have a very negative personality and negative outlook. If you work on positive things that you know are benefiting the world, you will have a much healthier body. If you don't have, you can live on junk food if you have a good outlook, but that won't be available in the future. You won't be able to buy salami, bologna, or frankfurters. Today they're finding out that frankfurters or hot dogs or artificially flavored and colored foods may be responsible for many different types of cancer. You're not fighting cancer by using chemotherapy or radiation therapy. You fight cancer by doing away with the conditions that produce it. The same with aberrant behavior. You don't put a person in jail when they don't know how to behave. It's nobody's fault, no matter what a person does, whether they're serial killers, murderers, rapists, they're produced by the society you live in. In the new society that I'm talking about, we will teach children how to live, how to solve problems, how to relate with one another without hurting one another. You'd be surprised how much science and technology has grown and how little people know of it. In the future, they'll be taught more about the scientific methods rather than opinionated system that politicians use.